Good morning, everyone. This is a message intended for the whole world. This presentation is about exquisite beauty. It's about great physical, intellectual, spiritual, and moral strength. It's about perfect health. It's also an extreme emergency for humanity, according to experts. So linked to this topic is a challenge I would like to present you. How are we going to feed the 9 billion people that there will be in the world in 2050 or a little later? And how can we alleviate the hunger that strikes more than 870 million people in the world today? So here are 16 golden reasons to be a vegetarian. The first golden reason to be a vegetarian is to stop the slaughter of innocent animals. It's really a holocaust that's going on for them. If slaughterhouses had glass walls, everyone would be a vegetarian. So 60 billion animals killed every year in the world for humans. This questionable practice impacts our environment. It impacts our daily lives, but we are not aware of this. The second golden reason to be a vegetarian is that cruelty toward animals is forbidden by the law. For instance, in France, it's prohibited. The third golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns philosophy. So, Plato, Epicurus, Seneca were vegetarian philosophers or sages. The love of wisdom and vegetarianism are linked. The fourth golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns history. The first men were vegetarians. The fifth golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns the environment. It is an extreme emergency according to the World Meteorological Organization. So, the breeding of animals produces 50% of the greenhouse gas. By 2100, the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, states that we must produce 0% of greenhouse gas emissions. Otherwise, there can be an irreversible climate change that can wipe out humanity. So each of us personally decides for the future of humanity. The sixth golden reason to be a vegetarian is to fight against hunger, poverty, and war. For example, in Syria in 2007, one of the reasons of the war is that there was a drought and farmers could harvest less crops. We can share our money to alleviate poverty when we save money, when we become vegetarians. And if the world switched to a plant-based diet, we could feed 800 million more people. The seventh golden reason to be a vegetarian is that the vegetarian diet and the plant-based diet give perfect health. They participate in the treatment of diseases. They provide longevity. They are a fountain of youth. The eighth golden reason to be a vegetarian is that we can do better physical performances. The ninth golden reason to be a vegetarian is that we save money. The 10th golden reason to be a vegetarian is that it gives exquisite beauty. The 11th golden reason to be a vegetarian is that it gives great intellectual strength. Pythagoras, Pascal, many Nobel Prize winners are vegetarians. Scientific studies showed that vegetarian children had a higher IQ than omnivorous children. The 12th golden reason to be a vegetarian is that it gives a pacified mind, according to yoga. It gives a good mood and emotional balance. The 13th golden reason to be a vegetarian is that it gives a higher level of conscience and spirituality. The 14th golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns geography. The maps of the diseases of our civilizations, such as cancers and cardiovascular diseases, are superimposed on the map of the countries which are the greatest consumers of meat. The 15th golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns science. If the world ate as much meat as in the West, only 1/3 of the planet would be fed, according to Herbert Reeves, an astrophysicist. The greatest naturalists state that the nature of man is to be a vegetarian. So here are vegetarian scientists: Leonardo da Vinci, Darwin, Jane Goodall, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, Thomas Edison. For example, Nikola Tesla invented the alternating current electricity supply system. Thomas Edison invented the power station. So that's a system of electric power generation and distribution to homes and businesses. He invented the electric light and the light bulb. He invented sound recording, and he's one of the inventors of cinema. So his inventions contributed to telecommunications and mass communication. The 16th golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns what we can create as vegetarians. So we have more energy in the body and the soul. So we can do more service for our communities. We can do great disinterested work. So we can have great creativity. We are capable of great innovations. So like these vegetarian leaders who are the Mahatma Gandhi and the Reverend Martin Luther King, we can create a peaceful world, a world that is fair, a world that's brotherly and that is wealthy. Here are other examples of what vegetarians can do. So here you have what Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí has created. It's really impressive. And he was a vegetarian. And you also have Norbert Wiener. He's an American mathematician and philosopher, and he invented cybernetics. So we couldn't live without robots today, could we? Norbert Wiener says, progress not only imposes new possibilities for the future, but also new restrictions. This is the 17th secret reason to become a vegetarian. The food can just be delicious. Look at these plant-based recipes. Don't they look wonderful? Beware. So if you decide to take on a vegetarian diet or a plant-based diet, be sure to go get information from your local vegetarian associations, because you have to find information on what a balanced vegetarian or plant-based diet is. You wouldn't want to miss any, to lack any nutrients like and also vitamin B12, omega-3s, etc. So it's really important. Here I'm going to try to answer two questions. The first one could be, why do people take on a plant-based diet? So not just a vegetarian diet. Well, two reasons. For environmental reasons, and it's also an ethical reason. For example, for hens that lay eggs, half of the chicks are born males, so they are just crushed at birth because they are not going to produce eggs. And hens, they lay eggs for 3 years and then they are sent to the slaughterhouse, which is unfair because they can live up to 13 years. And as for calves, usually the calves are sent to the slaughterhouses at birth because then the milk that is supposed to be theirs is collected and given to humans, whereas we do not need milk or dairy products to live. We are the only species that consume milk after weaning. Second question, who am I? Well, I was born in 1977 in Lorraine, France, so I'm French, but I really feel like a citizen of the world. Okay, so I studied philosophy at university for a year. I passed the competitive examination to enter 4 schools of engineering. One is in materials science, another is specialized in robotics, another in industrial engineering, and the engineering of innovation. What else can I say? I am an English as a second language trainer. I have my own language company, and I have a master's level. So I am the co-founder of the IVA, the International Vegetarian Association. The sources of this presentation are, for the first golden reason to be a vegetarian, that is to stop the massacre of animals. One of the sources, Mr. I.B. Singer, he's a Nobel Prize winner in literature. He wrote The Holocaust of Animals. For the third golden reason to be a vegetarian concerning the sages, the source is the AVF, the French Vegetarian Association. For the fifth golden reason to be a vegetarian concerning the environment, one of the sources is the World Meteorological Organization. They say that it is an extreme emergency for humanity. And also the World Watch Institute, that's another source. For the sixth golden reason to be a vegetarian, concerning the how we can prevent famine, poverty and war. Scientists say that to produce 1 pound of meat, we must produce 9 pounds of vegetable proteins. And for 9, whereas we could feed directly the humans with the vegetable proteins, if we combine cereals and beans, for example, we have all the amino acids that we find in the animal proteins, but these are vegetable proteins. So for 9 billion for 9 billion people in 2050, this type of diet is not possible according to scientists. And the natural disasters are getting worse and worse, and they are more and more frequent. So we really must stop that. And our global food stock is only at 4 days ahead. So famine is really can strike very quickly. Okay. As for the seventh golden reason to be a vegetarian concerning health, perfect health, This information is given by on the site www.vecplanet.com. It's in French. So, spirituality, Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita is included in this sacred text, and it's they are one of the founding texts of Indian wisdom. Okay. And the Department of Health of the USA, of Australia, the American Dietetic Association, they say that the vegetarian diet and the plant-based diets are, well, the plant-based diet is the optimal diet, and they are suitable for people from all walks of life. So, Professor Dean Ornish, who is the founder of the Institute of Preventative Medicine in California, found in his study that it was a fountain of youth. The vegetarian and vegan diets, plant-based diet, were a fountain of youth associated with exercise. And Dr. T. Colin Campbell wrote the China study. It's the first, well, the international study that is #1, and which studies the link between health and our diet on the long term. He said eating meat and consuming milk significantly increases cancers and cardiovascular diseases. And you have also Dr. Kelly Turner, who wrote Radical Remission of Terminal Cancer. So Dr. T. Colin Campbell says the plant-based diet and the vegetarian diet participate in the treatment of diseases, and that the plant-based diet is the optimal diet. Okay, so the 8th golden reason to be a vegetarian concerns a better physical performance. So this was found in a study conducted by Mr. Irving Fisher, who is a professor at Yale University. As for the 10th golden reason to be a vegetarian, so it concerns exquisite beauty. This information is given by the Mahabharata. If you log on to YouTube and type body transformation and vegan diets, you can see the transformation of the people who take on a plant-based diet. You can also check out what Annette Larkins says on the doctors. She eats a plant-based diet, and she's 70, she looks 40, and she looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, as for the 11th golden reason to be a vegetarian, it concerns great intellectual strength. This was found by scientific studies which showed that vegetarian children and children who ate a plant-based diet had a higher IQ than omnivorous children. As for the 12th golden reason to be a vegetarian, that is a good mood and emotional balance, this was found by a study conducted by Heather Lonsbury. She's an American acupuncturist. As for the 13th golden reason to be a vegetarian, that is that it gives a higher level of conscience and spirituality. This information is given by Mahatma Gandhi and Dexter Scott King. He is the son of Reverend Martin Luther King. As for the 15th golden reason to be a vegetarian concerning science, the greatest naturalist saying that it is the nature of man to be a vegetarian. This information was found on the website of the IVU, International Vegetarian Union. Astrophysicist Herbert Reeves said that if the whole world ate as much meat as in the West, only 1/3 of the planet could be fed. As for the 16th golden reason to be a vegetarian, the origin of this reason comes from the book The Eight Circuits of Conscience, written by shaman Laurent Hugli. He is Swiss, and he eats a plant-based diet. This book allowed to think about a circuit creator for the 16th golden reason. What can we create as vegetarians and people eating a plant-based diet? For the 17th golden reason to be a vegetarian, you can go log on to the local vegetarian associations. You will find many recipes, or you can just type on the net vegetarian recipes or plant-based recipes or vegan recipes. It's another word for a plant-based diet. So the other sources are the wisdom from all the continents, the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the World Health Organization, and that's it. To conclude, if you want to save animals, if you want to save the planet by helping to stop the climate change and prevent it from becoming irreversible in the coming years, if you want to respect the law, if you want to follow the sages and the wise men, then become a vegetarian. If you want to follow in the steps of our ancestors, the early humans, if you want to fight against famine and war, if you want perfect health, if you want the treatment of your diseases with the participation of the vegetarian and plant-based diets, if you want to be strong, then become a vegetarian. If you want to save money, if you want exquisite beauty, if you want to be very intelligent, if you want to be always in a good mood, then become a vegetarian. If you want to feed the world correctly in 2050, if you want to respect your nature, because we are born to be vegetarians, if you want to be more conscious, more spiritual, if you want to create a world that is peaceful and that is fair and brotherly, as well as wealthy, well, become a vegetarian. So this fair and brotherly and wealthy world that you have always dreamt of is possible. We can make this planetary revolution, but we need each and every one of us. We need the whole world. So it is an extreme emergency, according to the Lakota Native Americans. Each and every one of us personally decides for the future of humanity. So the only way to peace is through love and compassion, according to Indian wisdom. Albert Einstein said nothing will increase more. Nothing will be more beneficial for human health, and nothing will increase more the chances of survival of life on Earth than the evolution toward a vegetarian diet. If humanity becomes vegetarian, this will change the destiny of humanity. So thank you all, and peace and love to the whole world.